Hello. Today we're going to talk about 6.2 multiplying radicals. All right, so in this lesson, when you multiply radicals, you simply multiply what's underneath, right? We've done that before, right? Um, if you don't remember, like square root of 2 times the square root of 3, you should know that is the square root of 6, right? Now, all we're saying is the index can now change. So if I have cube root times cube root, I get cube root of 6. So, what happens here? Nothing happens in number 1 because this is a cube root and this is a square root. Okay? They don't match. All right, for number 2, let's see. These don't multiply, so it's another can't simplify. I can't tell you how many times kids will just multiply these out. They will just see these as square roots, okay? Always, always focus on the index, okay? It is a very, very tiny number, especially when it is typed, okay? All right, for number 3, we can do that. So this one is just simply the fifth root of, well, whatever negative 5 times negative 2 is. So the fifth root of 10. Okay? Well, let's, of course, do some more. All right, so a lot of times kids will do this. They will simply just multiply what's underneath, and they'll get some really big number. Okay? But when we simplify radicals, right, we did this in the 6.1, we made a factor tree. So we're basically going to be breaking it down anyway. So I don't ever multiply my numbers. Okay? That's just something I do. So this is simply 18 times 50. Break each of those numbers down. Okay? So 18 breaks down into, 2 times 3 times 3. 50 breaks down into 5 times 5 times 2. All right, follow your house rules. So house rule says pairs. Here I've got a pair of 3s, pair of 5s, pair of 2s. So take out the 2, 3, and 5. Everything is taken out of the square root. So your answer here is simply 30. Okay? Notice how I was able to do that without pulling out a calculator. Okay? I didn't have to multiply and get a bigger number. Okay? All right, let's do another one. So for number 5, we can multiply these, so we're good there. So we still know this is going to be a cube root. Break down your negative 16. That's negative 1. And then I'm going to do a little intuition here and see that's 16 is 4 times 4, and we have a 4 there. I'm not going to keep breaking it down because my house rule says I want 3s. And there's 3 4s. So you can look for easier options. You don't always have to break down to the smallest thing. You can take some shortcuts. Okay? All right, so we can take out the 4. Hopefully you remember odd root of a negative is just negative 1. And then nothing underneath the radical. We took it all out. So our answer here is just negative 4. All right. Let's add some more. All right, number 6. So both cube roots. Break down your numbers. 50 is 5 times 5 times 2. 15 is 5 times 3. We have x squared, y cubed, and then I'm going to notice I have this z and this z. So I'm going to add those exponents and get 6 of them. Okay, then I'm going to notice I'm going to take out my 5s. And I'm left with the 2 and the 3 underneath. Now look at your variables. Okay, remember you divide by the index. So this one would be 2 divided by 3. So that would be, since 3 can't go into 2, you leave all your x's under there. This one, you take the exponent divided by the rule, we get 1. So that means we can pull out 1y with nothing left over, no remainder. Then our z is 6 over 3. That's 2. So z squared, nothing left over. So your answer is 5y z squared cube root of 6x squared. All right, make sure I can see the difference between z squared and the cube root. Okay, too many times I have kids, I can't differentiate between that. So be careful. All right, so number 7, we can multiply what's out front. So we get 12. Then, let's see, I've got 2 and 8. We could break them down or write them as 16, right? Do you really need to break down that? Square root of 16, that's just 4. So we already have the 12 out. We take out the 4. The square root of x squared is just x to the first with nothing left over. So your answer is 48x. All right, let's do 2 more. So feel free to pause it, try them, always. Now, number 8. So for this one, we've got the square root of, well, this one's kind of nice because that's just 36. X cubed y to the 5th. Square root of 36, that's just 6. And then for our x, well, I guess I shouldn't write that too fast. All right, so divide it by your rule. So this would be 3 over 2 and 5 over 2. So 2 can go into 3 one time with 1 left over. 2 can go into 5 for y. 2 can go into 5 2 times with 1 left over. So the answer is 6xy squared square root xy. Ooh, sorry. The next one, number 9, we can write this all out. Here we have a -1, 3, 3, 12 is 3 and 4. We have x cubed and y to the 5th. So remember we are doing 3 as our house rule. So 3 over 3, 5 over 3. So let's start taking stuff out. We can take out 3 3's. We can take out the -1. And we can leave the 4 behind. Now for the x's. 3 can go into 3 one time. And for the y's, 3 can go into 5 one time with 2 left over. So your answer is -3 xy cube root 4y squared. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in class.